Today we go over exciting news for the future of the Star Wars franchise when it comes to the character of Supreme Leader Snoke. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one of the biggest shocks, at least I believe, in The Last Jedi was, of course, when Snoke was killed by his apprentice Kylo Ren by use of Anakin's lightsaber and moving it by use of the Force and igniting the lightsaber through his abdomen, hence cutting him in half, very much like Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. And that is when Snoke died, and it left a lot of people wondering as to why Rian Johnson, the director and writer, killed him off so early on in the sequel trilogy. Now, in Rian's mind, this was a way to move the character of Kylo Ren further up the ranks in the First Order and make him Supreme Leader Ren, essentially, and act on his own. Now Kylo Ren has his biggest wish that actually came true, is that now he is the leader of a large army, just like how Darth Vader wanted to do something like that in a sense, but he was a slave to Palpatine. But looking at Star Wars as a whole, these past couple of days we have been hearing a whole lot more about the future of the franchise. A lot of people have been wondering about whether or not we will get that Snoke backstory in Star Wars Episode 9 or any kind of future canon material. Now the good news is this, is that Snoke's backstory is indeed coming, and it's actually said to be explained at some point in time in 2019. Now, there's no confirmation on this, but I think that this all has to do with the Age of Resistance comic book series, because one of which has a whole entire issue dedicated to Supreme Leader Snoke. Like I say, it's not confirmed if the backstory will be told in that comic book itself, but nonetheless, Snoke's backstory is coming in 2019. Not exactly sure when, but it is coming. Now, a lot of you guys out there may have a problem with this because, well, of course, we would rather have this be told in Star Wars Episode 9 on the big screen, where it's essentially reaching out to everybody, casual fans and hardcore fans alike, right? So I think that the comics, you know, if they're going to explore Snoke's backstory, if it is going to be in that Age of Resistance issue for Snoke, I'm not quite sure how many people are actually gonna, learn about it, because not everybody reads comics. Of course, it'll spread by word of mouth and people making videos and people making blogs and stuff like that. Of course, it will be told in that sense. But I just feel that it would be more mainstream to tell Snoke's backstory through, let's say, a character like Kylo Ren or Luke Skywalker maybe, on screen for let's say 30 seconds to a minute in Star Wars Episode 9, which they could have done in The Last Jedi. They could have done this when Luke and Rey were talking in the First Jedi Temple, where they were exchanging, the words of the past about the Jedi way and Darth Vader, etc. Luke could have just tapped into a little conversation about who Snoke really is, how he turned Ben Solo to the dark side to Rey. All of this could have been done in just under a minute. Snoke's history with Leia, there is most certainly some kind of connection with Leia and Snoke there. And a lot of people are believing that maybe Snoke was a part of either the Republic or something around those lines way back when. Again, we do know that Snoke is very, very old. A very old creature / humanoid in the Star Wars franchise. So he's been around for a very long time. Like he has said, he has seen the rise and fall of the Galactic Empire and has seen things even well before that. It's even said that he may even be as old as Maz Kanata, which is over 1,000 years old. So Snoke has a lot of history, and the fact that we're going to be learning more about his backstory in, either, let's say, a novel or a comic at some point in time in 2019, to me is surprising, but I would rather have it be told on screen in Episode 9, which they could still do. They could take 30 seconds of dialogue and kind of just give us some, heavy details about the character. Now, the thing here is this. I feel that going into Episode 9 here, the fact that, there are a lot of rumors about Ed Harris portraying a younger version of Snoke, they could still tell us a little backstory here and there, if those rumors do end up to be true. Andy Serkis, you know, has said before in the past that they did not tell the backstory in The Last Jedi, apparently, because they wanted to hold his backstory if they ever wanted to tap into a prequel trilogy that takes place before the sequel trilogy, if that makes sense, or a standalone film that involves Snoke. He said that he knows Snoke's backstory. Andy Serkis, the man who portrayed the character, knows Snoke's backstory, and he discussed it with Rian, he discussed it with JJ, he knows. So somebody out there knows the past of Supreme Leader Snoke, and I do also find it ironic that this Age of Resistance comic isn't coming out until just before Star Wars Episode 9 in December of 2019, so I think that the backstory is going to be told in there. Other than that, it could be in a novel or something around those lines in 2019. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.